Yeah, I know. You're so
That's why I wrote it down.
Yeah, I'm not gonna raise restrictions on you. Because there aren't. Well, that could be my honey.
Okay, you know what I discovered when I was jamming and getting real hard, there were little
She's so
like every once in a while, one week, just look and make sure that they get it.
make sure.
So it's nice.
Oh, yeah. Good job. Set out the last.
Okay, so February.
Yes. Actually,
Not crazy way.
oh, okay.
Okay, then put this in the brown side, and then the black. No, the last one was on top side.
Well, actually, I
And this should reset.
Yeah. It's coming out.
And they do want you to keep
I'm gonna run out and get something to eat. I'm gonna run out and get something to eat.
Just
Yeah, it's definitely. I was an older mom. Yes. First, I dropped them off at LAX. Great. I'm starting to miss them a little. That's a Sunday. Because my husband dropped they spent my in-laws live in New York. So they spent my husband and my son spent the weekend in New York, and then that's our Sunday. So they were right there. Yeah, so they live in Simone. Right on the Hudson, like if you were made or west. I want to sit in the tall. Hi, how are you? How are you? My student. One of my star students too. Nice to see you. Yeah. Well, actually, I want to help with the buttons. Oh, okay. Yeah. I know how to. Okay.
So I'm having trouble finding a job here. So I just decided to volunteer for this company. That's what I told myself, that if I can't find a job, then I'm going to volunteer to train. And then right now I'm just applying for any kind of job, and whatever job I get, I'm going to save my money to. Whichever one comes first. I've never had the box, but
That's why I called you. That's why my number one. Yeah. I called your husband up there. Oh, okay. That's
I actually got my wife to
sorry. But anyway, that's why I
what? Somebody get
So I called you.
Good. See it. Really?
Oh, did you see it?
Oh, yeah, everyone's.
Yeah, I put it on the website.
You're all viral.
Yeah. Well, I misspoke
Oh, don't
twice.
forget to reread your paper.
I said 2000 instead of 2001. And I couldn't remember Chief Elmer Chapman's name, so I just had to say Chief.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. Yeah, that's all right. Don't worry about it. So, anybody know how much the absolute charges for
Did you
commission?
see this?
Oh, yeah.
Isn't that Mark? Doesn't that say it?
I know, but you know, you
Debbie Wasserman Schultz is wearing one. She thinks it's the greatest thing since sliced bread. Hillary laughed like hell.
Surely.
Yeah, she thought it was great.
Let's make them.
But, as was pointed out by several people, it's better if women wear them instead of men.
Yeah, I don't think. Hey, does anybody know? You know how much Jackman charges? You get money at that charge.
They don't charge.
You.
You can give us, or you can leave a tip if you want.
We're making it. So Sunday gonna be at the farmer's market.
Farmer's market and,
I've never been so exhausted in all my life. Well, we had conference get together every morning at 7:30.
Oh, yeah.
Then we had a whole bunch more meetings before I had to be on station as the deputy whip. By 1 o'clock, I had to be in place at the radio station, a gazillion miles away from where we were.
They have shovels, I have to get down to the
Shuttles take for an hour just to get on them. So I took the subway out.
Hey, you stole my slot. 2012, I was all over the top. I saw you this year. It was your turn. I saw you, I was sitting there in our break room. You know, we're sitting there, boss wife brought her food, and I'm sitting there. And I'm like, oh my God, it's Mike Dillon. I know that guy. What are you talking about? So, I know that guy. Oh, sorry.
Did you see the woman that came in costume every day?
She had a hat.
First day she came as Princess Leia.
Oh, I love it.
And she had the lightsaber and the whole bit. The next time I saw her, she came as Statue of Liberty.
You know, that's my style. I love that stuff.
Well, it was a convention, not Comic-Con. If she wanted to do that, go down to San Diego.
Statue of Liberty is good. Princess Leia, I don't get it. But even if it came in as Lady Justice, Statue of Liberty, those kind of things would have been out.
When I got into Bernie Ice. There are two kinds of Bernie Ice. There's the people like Bernie Ice. Bernie Ice. There's 20 or 30 Bernie Ice every day in a confrontation. We absolutely have to work like crazy to make sure that Hillary's not elected and Trump gets the presidency. Because that will ensure us the Senate. And once we have the Senate, that will give us the Supreme Court. Did I sleep through that civics lesson?
They never went to it. They don't know what they're talking about.
Then they explode.
Let's have a Trump.
Oh, no, I was there in a second.
I heard some of that
The
too.
Hastings weren't there.
But that was only one or two. These were like 20s and 30s.
I love this with this.
Oh, I didn't make
One of the people actually was the recording coordinator for LA. Anyway, he basically said, you were, the Hillary Bernie was saying, those machines are white
Man, I
noise.
know you.
I was expecting a bunch of them to be wearing foil hats. So
Well, that's one of the reasons.
the one I loved was that they explained to me how Debbie Wasserman came in all this.
Yay, textbook person.
You know when Debbie got her job as about 5.5 years ago.
You'll be here and then.
So the,
4 years ago, we're gonna follow this code. 4 years ago,
that's right.
when Hillary decided to run,
Navigated to had I
later than that, she hired Debbie Wasserman Schultz to be her campaign manager. And immediately went to Iraq and had him appoint her head of the DNC.
After Tim Kaine, right? Kaine was
But Debbie had been there longer than that. So I guess it was a retroactive or a time warp appointment. And that was so that Debbie could then stack DNC membership with lobbyists. So there would be enough,
How are you?
so there would be enough money to fund Hillary's campaign.
Don't say hi to Chris while he's inside there. The kitchen, yeah. Yeah.
Can you help us with the mail ship? The one that is create some email account for the email blast? It says don't do it with Gmail.
Yeah, just say ignore it, take the risk. Say, take the risk. No, it'll let you.
Anyway, I'm so completely, utterly fucking exhausted. I didn't usually get to bed until 3 or 4 after the after party. I had to be back at 7:30.
start at 3 in the afternoon. Wait till 11, I think it's one way to get dinner. Because you come back down, all the rest of the people.
I had passes to the grill. So anytime I can get away from the area, I can go to the county grill.
In the hall itself. Yeah. What? Sheets? Right on there. Pull them off clipboard. Yeah.
So you're
In the hall? The only?
No,
They changed
California we had our own. We had California grill was right at the end of our tunnel. Went right in, as long as you had.
Charlotte? They didn't have somewhere anything unless you want to do the afternoon. Oh, the actual one, yours is on the table, I think, or here. I don't know where it went. It's on a clipboard.
Some things were better than Charlotte, some things were not.
Tell us what it is. It's on a clipboard by itself.
Well, in Charlotte, I was at,
Anyone seen the client sign-up sheet?
Charlotte, I was at the Western.
North of the lakes. 300. No cold water. We have hot water.
This was the California delegation stayed in Florida and Alaska.
But you had some fun, right?
I think when they were going to Canada, when he was giving his speech, I wanted to hear what he had to say. So finally I got fed up with it. You probably already heard it back here. I turned around and without being like the last communication told him fucked up. You could see people in delegations away from us standing their heads.
Well, I just noticed that the placement is like way to the right and the back of the podium. You know, if you were shot at the podium, did you?
Yeah.
You did?
Had a wonderful shot at the podium. Well, my position that they gave me to watch out for was at podium level, and I was right on the aisle. I had a pretty good shot at the time.
Yeah, it's pretty much where we were last year. Stage right.
Well, a better place was the outside section of the Cadillac Grill. That was absolutely wonderful.
Is that in the hall?
Yeah.
Can I get you a glass of wine or something?
No, is there a sign-in sheet?
I'll get it. At 7:30 we turn it in.
7:30, I thought it was 7 o'clock. No, I want to go to sleep for another month. Now they want me to take off and go to Florida or until the 8th.
Oh, really? That was moved to Florida? You know, like that, I'd do it. We're gonna organize trips in Vegas.
Oh, yeah. They had a long talk with Castro. Really looking forward to it. Don't worry, we'll be there.
And I'm thinking we do 3 races. We do Masto in Vegas, and I'm licensed. They're licensed.
Yes. Yes. Did you see what Trump did today?
Yeah, he said I'm not going to endorse or support McCain or Ryan.
He came out against for the guy that's running against Ryan in the primary.
I don't think the guy really wants to be president. If he does, he should run. Get something great.
Money out.
lot of things this month, right? For a lot of terminology. But overall, I
want to show you something that's why I'm doing that was in your house. I sent this out.
I don't know.
I mean, I just talked to Chris about my suggestion, and he said it's called Get Out the Vote. And he explained what they do with parking.
Reimbursement to me for some priority mail, $25. So we're ending in July with $332.05. Apparently at the,
We had two events. One
two
event was
events
the,
while I was on vacation.
yeah, we had a watch party. We collected $100 and passed the hat at the watch party. And we had a successful tabling last Sunday with another $100. So
Right.
$200.
Those will be reported on, in the deposit was made in August, so it'll be on the August report. So we've got about a little over $500.
Well, you don't, because we have expenses.
Because but there are expenses, which also will be paid
Reported in
and
August.
reported
Yeah.
in August.
And here's the documentation.
What's the total in our checking?
530, oh, for the end of July,
Yeah,
I'll give you a copy of the report.
the one that you just reported.
$332.05. There you go. I didn't make copies for everybody because I used to waste paper.
Anybody else want to see this? Okay.
I have a few more copies if anybody wants, I'll put here on the table. Okay?
All right, okay, thank you.
$25.
Let's Chair accepts your report. Any questions? Yes.
Well, we have to start the meeting over from the very beginning, so was it recording?
We'll make it up later.
Acted out.
The tech wise for
too early.
Okay, so thanks, Lynn, for your report. Any other questions?
Oh, the camera.
The committee reports, red to blue. Chris?
I'm coming. Okay, hey everybody. Okay, so I'm the chair of the Red to Blue Committee, and what that means is they're turning either Senate seats or House seats from Republican to Democrat. And then also what we implemented as well is keep it blue. And what I've done is a little bit of extensive research relative to across the United States of America and where there are options for us to gain a Senate seat as well as a House seat. But okay, right now, I'm just going to give you the demographics. Right now in the United States of America, our Senate has 44 Democratic seats held in the Senate. Republicans have 54. Independents 2, including Bernie Sanders, have 2. So 44 plus 2 gives 46, okay? So the breakdown is 46 Democrats, caucus and whatnot, and then 54 Republican. At this point in time right now, we have 34 Senate seats up for election in 2016. 24 of those seats are Republican. And out of those 24, there's only one Democratic seat that is a potential loss, and that's in Colorado.
Who is
So that's,
that? Who is that?
I don't remember his name. His brother was governor or senator in New Mexico.
Udall.
Udall. Is it Udall? Yeah, his brother was senator in Udall, in New Mexico, I remember that. So right now, I mean, there's a potential, with a very strong movement that we potentially take, say, 23 Senate seats. But for us, yes, we can here in the grassroots and the main streets of Long Beach, we can actually, in our sistering states, we have 2. We have our friend John McCain up for re-election.
We're not supporting him.
Over in Arizona. Our friend John McCain. And what's transpiring in Nevada is that John McCain is not doing so well.
That's Arizona.
It's Arizona.
I'm sorry, in Arizona. I'm going to Nevada next, I just went over. So John McCain actually has a very strong congresswoman, and her name is Ann Fitzpatrick. Kirkpatrick. Oh my God, do you know where that's from? Anybody ever seen Bridget Jones' Diary?
Oh,
Patrick, that's where,
I don't think she was in it.
that's where that totally came from.
Mr. Chair.
So what I did was, is I searched up here, we have Kirkpatrick, and then we have, what I did was, I did research on the polls, and relative to those states that we can, and the Senate, to take over, and make them blue.
I just want a quick report on Ann. Michael and I actually met her.
Okay, but let me finish with what I'm talking about, and then you talk about, let me give the breakdown of the polls. Okay, so, and these polls date back to, we're going back to May. So, it's very rare that you will have a non-competitive seat, like in Arizona, which is, we have not won since 1996. Bill Clinton won Arizona, and that's the last time we took that for essentially anything, and being Democratic. So, McCain he's been pretty healthy, but he was 13 points ahead back in May, and he's dribbled down to 5.5. And this is the RCP poll average, so this is like a reputable poll. So she actually has a very good chance with assistance. And actually what transpired is everybody remembers when Bill Clinton went down there and he spoke to our Attorney General. Freaking drama. But what else transpired at that point in time, Bill Clinton was in Arizona. He got hit up by the Latino caucus in Arizona, and they were telling him, "Hey, we have a potential here to change this, change it up, and gain the Senate seat." So what they're trying to do is get monies into Arizona, because that's what it really takes. So there's a potential there that we can get the monies both from the DNC and a little assistance from our future President Hillary Clinton to focus on Arizona, which we're going to do as our Democratic Club here in Long Beach.
All right, yeah, a couple of updates. Number one, we talked to Lennon and Adrian earlier. The Hillary campaign has not yet decided whether Arizona's in play. Is it correct?
No, they have not. They're still
all right
under discussion.
We are, that's something the club can do anyway. Kirkpatrick Place. I like the idea of doing it coordinated, but if you can't, you won't. Here's the deal. We met her, Mike and I met her.
Wait, no, that was important what you just said. Can't do it coordinated. We can't, we won't. What do you mean by that?
I'm saying, it would be nice if we do a coordinated effort with the Clinton campaign.
That'd be our intent.
If the Clinton campaign says, no, it's not, Arizona's not in play for us, we still as a club can go and support Patrick.
But why would they not tag on if we're there?
Because they might not see it as a win.
Right, well, the thing is that the.
Does everybody know, Adrian's our contact with the campaign.
Hi. I'm with Hillary for America, and I'll be here pretty much every Tuesday.
Living.
Yeah, right. I'll be around all the events. But as far as the Arizona and Nevada, I know during the Obama campaign, they had very close ties to the Democratic Party in Nevada. So that's why they were busing people mainly out there, and they're going to be using those ties because I guess for whatever reason that's what they usually do. They're looking into Arizona, but right now their focus is just on Nevada after the caucus. And
For California.
Yeah, for California. And if you want to organize trips aside from the Hillary campaign, you're more than welcome to do that. But for the campaign, the staff will be coordinating with the Hillary staff in Nevada and setting up that there.
So Adrian, can you just in very short time, I'm not trying to, just want to have a clarification. So if we coordinate with the Hillary campaign because Hillary decides that Arizona is in play.
Right.
And we go there and do some stuff, or we send buttons or do what we do we get sort of double bang for our buck, so to speak,
Street
because
cred?
we're already, or street cred, because
Two
we're,
races.
because, okay. Whereas if we just go on our own, we're gonna have a little bit tougher time, right?
Yes.
Because we're not gonna have the organization behind us.
Yeah, we'll have the backing of the entire Nevada Democratic Party and organization, and that's how they'll.
Okay.
A quick finish up with Ann. She is a very viable candidate.
Right.
She's a really great person. She was the Attorney General.
No.
No, it's not.
Now you're doing it.
That's not that. Sorry. She's a member of Congress, and Patrick, and she speaks Navajo and Apache.
Yeah,
She was raised.
pretty well.
And what?
And Mandarin.
And Mandarin.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of Chinese in northern Arizona.
One running in Arizona against.
Anyway, I just wanted to add that
Kane.
we basically vetted her.
Here,
Okay,
here's a little bio of our future senator in Arizona. In 1980, Ann became the first woman to serve as Coconino County's deputy county attorney. As a prosecutor, Ann pushed for more arrests in domestic violence and abuse cases. And when victims were in too much danger to testify, Ann co-founded the Victim Witness Service in Flagstaff to protect and support victims of crimes and domestic violence. In November 2004, Ann was elected to the State House of Representatives to represent Legislative District 2, fighting for fiscal responsibility, quality education in Arizona's rural communities. Ann was elected in November 2006 and 2008, and then elected to Congress in 2008. So, I mean, she has a very progressive record, and she's a very intelligent woman. So let's get more women in the Senate.
All right.
Yeah.
She was not expected to win the congressional seat, but she understands how to run a campaign. She does it the old-fashioned Democratic way. Booze and hot dogs.
Booze and hot dogs. That's why we're going to Arizona, baby.
Seriously, no, she told us a story about how she went to one precinct and set up a hot dog stand, basically.
$10,000.
And everybody showed up, and it was like,
Good Lord.
yeah.
What time of year was that?
In Arizona, it's always that time of year. So, anyway, so that's a good nutshell summary of it. Let's move on to Nevada.
Okay. So we're in Nevada, another hot state.
Literally.
Especially for the, okay, now this is actually Harry Reid seat. So this is a blue seat. So this is a Keep It Blue within the Red and Blue, Keep It Blue program. So essentially, we're not looking so good here because we have the Senate Minority Leader and we're actually behind there. Not by much, but we're behind there. And we're behind by 0.3.
Oh, yes.
But, come on, this is Senate Majority Leader. That's pretty bad. And essentially what we have as our candidate we're supporting is Catherine Cortez Masto. And I'm just going to read a few things, just a little bio by her, so everybody can, because I don't want us just to support the people who are Democrats. I want to support because their passion, their mind, their hearts, you know, and how they try to win over souls relative to that, which is a progressive record. So Cortez Masto served as 2 terms in Nevada Attorney General and became well known for integrity and leadership on behalf of Nevada families, women, and seniors. And then also, real quick, I remember when we learned when we were working for Obama, it's Nevada, not Nevada. Turn it off, we'll lose the election. So a lifelong advocate for women and children. And I want to say this, and this hit me when I was doing this research, is that how many men in the history of the U.S. Senate have promoted all these programs for women and children?
Not many.
Yeah, I know. And I'm reading through these women and like with Hillary, the same, going back in the day. And it's like,
Families.
A light bulb is over
it's
your
very
head.
selfless what women do, I have to say. Or you women. I was reading this, because I got an amazing mother. Cortez Masto worked to strengthen laws protect, oh this is great you guys, preventing sex trafficking and violence against women. She'll pass a bill that established the crime of sex trafficking of children and adults, allowed victims to receive assistance, and gave them rights to sue their traffickers. Why didn't they have that law already? Sex trafficking of children? When I read that, I was like, how did they not have that already? Oh, good Lord. Okay, so you met her in person,
Yeah,
so she came out. That was actually
Mike and I vetted her too, and she is a
I think
very,
it's overseas.
well, basically, we met her. She is a very,
Where do you meet her at?
at the,
Beechwood barbecue.
Yeah, she came to Long Beach.
yeah, here in Long Beach. She came to us. I love it when they come to us.
Yeah, that's great.
We had to go to Hollywood Hills to meet Ann, but anyway. So the point is, we talked to her about her chances and what she's up against, and you know, she's a great candidate. And if we're doing a coordinated, it sounds like we're doing a coordinated campaign in Nevada, we will be able to work for Hillary and for her, okay?
Do the combo.
And it'll be a combo, so it's two bangs for the buck.
She appreciates good IPA.
Oh, wow.
I'm not
Stands
happy
on
with
She
that.
immigration
wait,
is
does she
pretty
like a
good
good
as well.
tap?
What's IPA?
Does she like a good
Beer.
tap?
No, she's not.
No.
Sorry.
Cabernet?
As they came, it's summertime, that's for sure. Oh, and one footnote for Ann, she does have a primary on August 30th. So she's looking really good. against
No,
the
she's looking really good,
Yeah.
yeah.
Very.
Anne is looking really good, but the other one is not.
So according to
No,
the poll.
no, hold on. He was referring to the primary
Oh,
election that
And
Ann,
Nevada primary is already over.
yeah.
okay.
But real quick, and this is for all of us, like, this is for the true progressives here with Council Cortez in Master, Nevada. To aid middle-class families and protect consumers and homeowners, Cortez Master created a mortgage fraud strike force to investigate and prosecute fraudulent foreclosures, rescue loan modification scams, and she led the fight against foreclosure fraud, securing an estimated $1.9 billion from banks on behalf of Nevada homeowners as part of the national mortgage settlement. So she aided, the federal with what she was doing in Nevada and brought all those monies back when we bailed
She
out all
also
these.
fought for a lot of transparency in that discussion. She wanted it public rather than behind closed doors, which I think is really important.
Great.
So those are our 2 Senate seats. You guys, I mean, we do have like right now making buttons. That's primarily what we do with red and blue. I'm going to contact, I'm going to put it to a floor vote that we support these campaigns. I have one more to get into. And then what's going to transpire at that point in time when I have the club's approval in a sense, then I'm going to contact these campaigns. And number one, see how it is they need our assistance. And then what relative to their request, where we can accommodate. But let's stick to, okay, actually I'm going to say the last one and then we're going to get into demographics. So this one actually is my favorite one because, I need that over there.
He's
Okay.
such a prick, that's why.
This is my favorite one. He said that's
The guy we're trying to get rid of.
Okay.
It doesn't come up.
Now, let's step down a little to the House of Representatives, okay, from the Senate.
Do we have to?
So, there is for the first time, and it's probably 16 years, that, and you can quote me on this, the biggest prick in Congress and the wealthiest congressperson is having a fight. And back in the California primary,
No, it's one of those guest things.
back in the California primary,
I know.
it was an unknown opponent who was not even running a real campaign, ended up getting only 6 percentage points behind this prick. And normally this congressperson is 32 points ahead for, it was only the past 10 years. Running for Congress every 2 years, he did 32 points ahead. And out of nowhere, this Marine colonel ran and ran a little grassroots. I'm gonna send emails, gonna knock on doors, gonna say hi to my friends, give me a little money, spend it here. No signs, no bumper stickers, no pen buttons, none of this jazz. And this guy got 6 percentage points behind Daryl Issa.
There you go. That's what we're up against.
Down
Get rid of
here,
him.
49th congressional district, which goes from, say, northern San Diego, Oceanside Vista, up to Paris. But it doesn't get, it's like a little south of San Clemente, so it cuts northeast, probably about 5 miles south of San Clemente. So here's what we're thinking demographics, and if we're going to be realistic, Yes We Can is a very active club. And we're thinking of not only phone banking, making buttons, but there's actually, there's a potential loop we can do here, folks. First and foremost, aside from the glory of getting rid of Daryl Issa, there's a wine region in California in his district called the Temecula.
You're going with us,
Oh, we're there.
Field trip. Get the buses.
Right there.
Democrats run out wine.
So, another incentive to get rid of him, to get down there and get rid of this guy.
And then
So,
Move over to Arizona.
so then that's why I put this other map here. It has California, Nevada, and Arizona. So Robeson and I we're having conversations. So I'm gonna stand over here.
Over a decent.
So I'm gonna circle this little area where Daryl Issa, actually it's this little area, it's Daryl Issa.
From
So,
South Beach County, so.
Long Beach is here, we jet down, we work, say we jet down there on a Friday, we take a Friday off from work. So we have a couple, wine tastings, Chapin is great, we'll drink at Chapin, and then we'll walk some precincts down there. And then Rose and I were discussing shooting over to Yuma. Yuma's right on the border of California, which is, I looked it up, it's about, 2.5, 3 hours from there, with the way I drive. And, but then I did some additional research, and this is really interesting, folks, about Arizona. 3/4 of the voting public in the state of Arizona is Phoenix and Tempe. 3/4. Isn't that wild? We got this huge freaking state, and it's all within, say, I'll say probably like a 100-mile radius. It's 3/4 that are voting public. So it's like we're discussing potentially, we'll take a field trip, we'll make it happen. I could fit 4 people in my car. And Rose can fit 4 as well.
No, 8 people will fit in my Cessna.
Yeah, and your luggage
These are
carrier.
flying.
Everyone's in the trunk.
So we're gonna figure it out, but I'll tell you this, so for sure we're gonna go down and go door to door for our 49th. So let me give you a little bio. And this, I'll read real fast, sorry, I apologize, it's taking a long time, but this is real important, guys. After getting Hillary elected, these are 3 things we can do, is yes, we can, to make the Senate a reality, and to get one of SOBs in the House of Representatives. As a Marine, I'll just start here. As a Marine colonel serving around the world and civilian trial attorney, I have a proven record spanning 4 decades. I grew up in a hardworking, middle-class, blue-collar family, and was the first Applegate to graduate from college. Joined the Marines a month before Saigon fell. I chose to become first infantry officer and later a judge advocate. My values come from my parents, my mom. My mom owned a neighborhood convenience store and later was an insurance agent. My father, World War II veteran, twice wounded in the Battle of the Bulge, worked at Red Root and served as a UNGM plant security officer. My business career and military duties have been both challenging and rewarding. I've advised Marine commanders, defended and prosecuted war crimes, and conducted complex civil and criminal trials. After a combat tour in Ramadi, Baghdad, and Fallujah, I retired in 2006, having served 32 years in the Corps, active and reserve. I lived and worked in the 49th Congressional District since being stationed at Camp Pendleton in 1981. All 3 of my children grew up here.
Can I ask a question? In terms of the military base there, because Camp Pendleton, is that part of the district, I'm assuming, or part of that area?
It's right next to it, I think.
Yeah, it's in it. Yeah.
If, assuming it's actually part of the voting area, I think if there's a way to get on the base and kind
Well,
of.
we did do some investigation on that.
Yeah.
Probably very
Yeah.
Well,
Because there's
the
a
thing-
very large
well-
retired Marine population there as well.
Okay, see, that's the issue, because if they're on the base,
Their home district.
yeah, that's the thing, if they're on the base, they might not be registered in that
They have an
district.
APO address, and usually would.
Yeah.
But anyway, we'll check into it. Okay.
Okay, here's his platform. We need new positive leadership committed to integrity, accountability, and transparency in Congress that will take big money's influence out of government. I love it. I will fight to bring American jobs that provide living wages and equal pay for equal work. I have the experience to ask the right questions to create the strongest national defense, build the best Veterans Administration, and stop endless wars. I will demand comprehensive immigration reform that makes American employers part of the solution.
And what's his name?
It is Applegate.
Applegate. First name?
Yeah, Doug.
Doug, yeah.
Lieutenant Colonel.
Yeah, Lieutenant Colonel. It's only Colonel. Colonel Doug Applegate, retired. Yeah, so that's what we're focused on, everybody. So I want to put to the floor that within the red and blue and greater than the Yes We Can Democratic Club, that we support in the Senate race Kirkpatrick in Arizona, in Nevada Cortez Masto, and then in House Representatives to get rid of Darrell Ice, the Colonel.
Okay, do we have a motion to that effect? Yes.
I second that. I second,
That was a
my
motion,
motion,
second.
yeah, you made the motion?
Yes.
That was a
Yeah,
motion.
okay, I second it.
Okay, any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, thank you, sir. Yes.
What about the Senate race here in California?
Kamala is 16 points ahead of.
She's endorsed by the party, wasn't
Kamala
Kamala
is 16 points ahead of Loretta.
Never mind.
And she's also she's a Democratic endorsed candidate for convention, so.
Yes, I know, but I don't.
So, yeah, she's
consider
16
Loretta
points.
a Democrat.
Kamala essentially got in the back, but she.
Okay.
That's something.
All right,
And then, okay, so just to follow up, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to contact all these campaigns,
Right?
and intermittent between this meeting and the next, I'm going to have a red and blue committee meeting. And then we're going to,
That'll be here.
yeah, I'll have it
Sure.
here, or in my place, I don't figure it out.
Here's the thing that, to bear in mind what we can do, and we've done in the past. We've made buttons for candidates as far away as Florida.
Tammy Duckworth in Illinois,
Tammy
and then
Duckworth.
Murphy, who's running for Senate in Florida now. We worked for his and Tammy Duckworth. They're both running for Senate, actually.
Well, we also had,
Their house.
we had two congressional candidate fundraisers in this house and the backyard. We raised $3,000 for Porcatino, who backed out of that race for competitive reasons. And we also raised $5,000 for Pete Aguilar for his race.
And now as a congressman.
All right. So we can raise some money here, okay? And it may not be earth-shattering amounts of money. But
That is money.
the other thing is, tonight, if you were on doing phone calling, the campaign is calling for house parties, grassroots fundraisers. And we could do 1 or 2 of those here and raise between, the minimum is 1,000 to 20,000. Say we do 5,000 or 6,000. Well, it's, you know, we have to be realistic. What we can get into one little house. But anyway, so those are things we have done and can do on this next cycle. Okay? Anything else? Thank you, sir.
Any questions?
All right. Excellent
Good job.
report. Okay.
Well done.
Okay. Cindy's not here tonight. She was going to stop by and give us a report. It says 49. The prop is now prop 59.
No, it's not. Well, I can respond to that.
It's not 59?
And then we
It's
have,
SB
we
250.
got Applegate.
It's changed again?
SB is the,
Is the Senate bill.
yeah, but what's the proposition?
There's a
It's a proposition.
It's a
It
proposition.
came through SB 254 is what is the legislation that renamed the prop, yeah, to be able to come back on.
Well, that's a legislative process. This is a proposition. They're totally different.
No, I know, but the way that the Supreme Court did it, they,
This has happened since Sunday. 'Cause I met with Cindy on Sunday. It's prop 59.
Yeah, I think it's been
Right.
all right.
renamed.
It was 49.
It was 49 now.
The bill is a different issue. I don't know.
It's
not that I
59 on
campaign,
this.
but- so-
This was given out a couple of weeks ago by the county party, and it has 59 as the.
Yeah, the proposition. All right, and we were at tabling on Sunday for it, so, all right, I can't give a full report, but let's, you know, get more information on that to you, and we'll get that out on the
This was
report.
very interesting.
Okay, we have with us Michael Dillon, who is a whip, it's a terrible name,
No, There's two pages of
whipping
the
those
same.
burning ice, I'm ashamed of you.
Well,
Anyway,
I didn't whip that.
no, I know
I
you
whipped
whipped
the Hillary people. I closed the burning.
We don't want to hear that. All right, moving on to your report, sir. Tell us a few words.
Not much other than it was a very successful, we managed to keep everybody in line. There were a few burning people that are still out there that are never
Burn your bus back.
Burning your bus.
But other than that, it was a very successful one, very tiring. I am not going to do it again, it's too tiring, I'm too old for that.
It's a lot of schluck. Let me ask you this, at the consensus of the delegates, are they going to work together, the Hillary delegates working in the campaign? or what?
Yes, and most of the burning people that I talked to were coming over also. I would say at least 80%.
That's
I
my
heard
estimate
91%.
Robson, where's Eleanor?
I read 91%.
on the table. All right, so here's the thing, I think I mentioned earlier, we're going to invite the burners that I work with, we have on the list, and inviting them to participate here, or if they can't participate with us, they have a program called, that came out of the burning staff, it's called the Brand New Congress. Now, they're focusing on the 2018 races. As you heard today, we're focusing on the 2016 races.
Right.
Which I think is real important.
The brand new Congress is also looking at the current races. It's not-
Yeah.
no, no.
What I've been reading, no, but, you know.
Well, against Debbie Wasserman Schultz, yeah.
Yeah, well, that, well, I've already behind that, actually.
Yeah.
All right, okay, thank you, sir, for the report. All right,
We're trying to get her.
now we have the reorganization, mission, statement and objectives. Laurel, do you have a report for us?
I do. Okay, so I just wanted, for our new folks, it's great to see new faces. I just want to be sure people know what's going on here in kind of just a simple sense. Sometimes when you come into meetings, you're not sure where you fit. So far, I think this has been like one of the perfect meetings to explain what we do, the kinds of stuff we do. So far, I've heard that you can, to help in this election that's coming up in 4 months, you can make phone calls. You can come every Tuesday night here and make phone calls with Hillary for America, is that what it's called?
Yes.
All right, you can make buttons. those buttons turn into cash, because those buttons go to our tabling events. People buy them for $1. We made $100 last weekend, then we turn around and we buy yard signs or whatever else we need to with that $100. And so making those buttons, having hundreds of buttons is a good thing for us. You can participate by being on a committee with Krista Volley. You can work on the red to blue. We organize things. We organize the field trips that he's talking about. You can drive places. You can go, you can knock on doors. You can say.
Except in Long Beach, you can't knock.
Yeah, right.
No, we're not doing.
And we do select who we work on exactly. This is being democracy in action. We pick the people where we have the biggest clip for our buck. So we're not going to work for Alan Lowenthal, we're not going to work for Kamala, because those people are well ahead. And so since we're just us and not very much money, we're going to try to do what we can do. Okay? So, and I thought of one other thing, but now I've kind of forgotten. What else? I mean, just being here should give you a feeling of participating in democracy, which is one of the reasons I've been coming back for 6 years. Okay, so what I want to do now very briefly, and I only made 11 copies. So there are 2 sides. I'm going to pass one for every 2. And I'm going to just lead you through this really quickly so you can see what our mission statement's all about. And why we have a mission statement. Because you would think that, there's Cindy. Yes, we just talked about her.
Yeah, you should come with me.
Right here. Here's the seat. Oh, it's a seat. Okay, go.
Can we go let her do a report?
Can I finish mine and then she can see?
You have time to
Do you have time to stay just to give a report?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
All right, go ahead.
All right, are there more? Just so you can share. So you turn to the side that does not have the blue draft thing on it. So first look at the opposite side.
Red?
This is our old.
The old, don't look at the draft.
one-sided.
Uh-oh. There's that.
All right, then just listen.
Listen up.
She read it too.
You know, that's
so I already
amazing.
kinda
I read
know.
this
So
off
you
last
know.
night. All right, anyway.
Oh.
So,
The current.
on the side that does not have the draft side on it, that is our old mission statement from 2015, as you can read. We've been having a mission statement for this club for about 6 years now. And the goal is to try to narrow down what we're trying to do. We had our very specific objectives in off-election years that we've had for a couple of years. Now, you don't have the side, maybe some of you don't, you'll flip it over to the side that says draft. And this is where I need some help here and some input. So Chris asked me, taken from the notes that were at the last meeting. Here, look at mine. Look at mine if you want. Okay, we'll take a look at that side.
Not with the red.
Here, let me just say how this happened. And I've heard a few new things tonight because those notes that came from the last meeting were really sketchy. I was not here. I was working actually. And so I did my best. And that is why it says draft, because this is the time, if mistakes have been made or if it doesn't say exactly what we're trying to do, then this is when you speak up or forever hold your peace. So the mission statement has been our old mission statement, if you flip it back over, talked about supporting Barack Obama because he was president, right?
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can. The new mission statement talks about progressive presidential candidate. And plus, we think that this slightly more general, I mean, we can put Hillary in there if you want to, right? I mean, I'll just go back to my computer. But like Dagmar and I were talking about our bylaws, and really our bylaws have a general mission, statement of mission as well, and it really ought to be the same thing. And if we and then after Hillary is no longer, we
Then
go
you
on.
have to change it.
We have to change it, so we're trying to make it a little less specific.
Universal.
All right, so you can see that what we stand for, in fact, Chris Robeson, since you have a copy and I don't, would you just read the mission statement for those people who...
The mission of the Yes We Can Democratic Club is to organize and promote actions that support the democratic values of community, social justice, equality, opportunity, and service, using activism, citizen participation, and education as a foundation we work to elect a Democratic president, senators, and congresspersons, members of Congress, who support a progressive agenda.
All right, right, okay, well, I can do that. All right, and so then, in the last few years, in 6 years, what we've done is we had, first time we did this, we had a whole bunch of objectives to work on. We realized that was just too unwieldy, so now we've got 3 objectives. Those 3 objectives ought to be pretty close to what Chris talked about at the beginning of the meeting, that you guys, that this group talked about last time when I wasn't here. Maybe a little off, but my feeling is that, number 1, it covers the working for our Democratic president, our progressive person, supporting the I have to look at it. I can't remember. So supporting the essential progressive ballot initiatives and reforms, including Prop 49 that I have now mislabeled there at SB 254.
Should be 59, yeah, 59.
We
moved that, we moved it.
Right. We just had this discussion, they
Right.
talked to us about it, so I'll fix that. Objective 2 is to create the red to blue and keep it blue plan to work, and we've already had a good report on that. And the third one is to continue to act with connections of out there. This is one we had last year, a version of it, as well as the get out the vote efforts. And so I don't know if that's where we want to put that. You guys can give us.
Say that again, what's the third one?
It says, objective number 3 is to continue to interact with the California Democratic Party and with local Democratic organizations in order to organize get out the vote efforts.
All right, there are a couple of things I would add to that, or point out. Number 1, GOTV will not be what it is typically, which is knocking, canvassing, drop and drag, pulling people out to vote. Although we may be doing that.
We're not doing that?
No, it's gonna be strictly calling battleground states from California.
Basically, the Clinton campaign has written off California. Has written California as a win. They always get it right, as a win. And remember, Obama did the same thing, all right? So we
still
didn't
play a
really.
huge role. I mean, we have played a huge
Yeah,
role.
we have a
yeah.
huge role, huge. But basically, the thing I would de-emphasize the interaction with the Democratic Party. That's an operational function. I think our 3 objectives, and the one that's missing is the president, okay? Supporting the president. It's a mission statement, it's not.
No, but you can't, what if the president's Republican? You can't just say president.
Well, I mean, for this year we can. We can, you know what, this being America, we can do whatever we want.
Yeah.
But we were just
So
trying to make it.
I would just make the 3 that I outlined earlier.
Yeah, but I see it was very unclear from your notes, and that's why. But I'll put it back in there. All right.
I
So
can work with you. Let's not get into the weeds here, go ahead.
all right.
Wait, it
so-
says that, Rob, an elected Democratic president.
Yeah, all right, yeah, good, okay. All right.
So, all right, so you and I can talk about that. Does anybody else see, because I want to talk a little bit about the rest of the plan there, but does anybody have any other input about it, about what we're doing? Any unclear, or lack of clarity about what our goals are?
So in support their progressive platforms, maybe instead of the get out the vote, we
Right.
should interact to ensure there are progressive platforms.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah,
good
see,
idea.
that's good. That's good. Okay.
And we can move interaction with the party into activities supporting the objectives, right? Is that something?
All right, that's good. That's,
And I would add travel to swing states, which I don't see.
well, again,
All right, those against an activity.
yeah,
Thanks.
and, right,
Next
so,
time.
so.
Thanks for your help.
Thank you very much. You just
Bravo.
probably earned us about $100.
Thank you, all right.
All right, so the way this chart works is just exactly what Cristoballi said. So the box on the bottom, and it's on both sides, it hasn't really changed. All those are activities of things we do, and the idea being that whatever we need to do, we pull in to do to support the objectives.
Perfect.
So it isn't like you have to put this under that and that under that,
And
because
it's
they're
not, it could be some of those, all of those,
All of
or
them,
others in
none of
addition
them,
to it,
maybe
but
something else,
to
but
get an
what-
idea of what we're about.
right. So for example, what we just, the one we just said. And then over on the right side are the leaders that we have that were already introduced tonight. So that, I mean, it's supposed to be like a one-page picture of what we're like. So, other than your suggestion
We'll work
about,
on, yeah, the.
all right, anybody else have any input at all?
In sync with this? Yeah.
Well, okay, all this where it says about values of community, social justice, equality, opportunity, and services. Okay, do you see that that's in these objectives?
Yeah, I do. I mean, but maybe
If
not.
not, it will be. There's some things that need to be tweaked a little bit.
Maybe
No,
if
it's
you-
in there, but I
I know, it will
is
be
it?
moved into those things. so it's-
Oh,
Well, one of the things, yeah, because I think the feeling is that if we're working for progressive candidates, then we are working for equity, community, social justice, et cetera. That's, I mean, it's like
I
a,
know.
But no,
Yeah, I would just like a little more
all right, where would you like
meat in
it?
it.
Sure,
Well, I
okay.
don't know, I'm
Laurel.
just saying.
No, it's a good point. Really, I'm serious.
Laurel, I think what we're getting at is we need, because you missed some of the conversation we had, we don't have minutes, I'm sorry about that. But we did talk about kind of what do you call it, a trinity. Okay, you have three key things, and one of those is working specifically to ensure that the progressive platform planks, which are in dealing with what you're talking about. All right, so we can smith it.
No, but I would just refer to the mission statement though. I think the
That's
mission
enough,
statement,
just
that's,
having it in the mission
no,
statement
that's
is
all
enough.
encompassing of
I think
social
that-
justice, equality, progressiveness.
And I want to just say, and this is not because I wrote this because I didn't write this all myself, but over the years, we have really
Tweaked it.
honed
Yeah.
our mission statement. And
Yeah,
I
really.
think it's pretty darn good. I mean, having been the veteran of many a mission statement in the work that I've done, I think it's really good. I don't think it's too unambiguous. So then, no, I know you're not saying that. So then I'm saying, one choice is you can include some of the language, or the other is you make a little bit of a leap of faith and say, here are our objectives, and all of those are going to support. That's what, there's supposed to be arrows up there, but they're not on this.
All right, let's get back to work on it. We'll figure out the details. I think she has some valid points.
Okay,
Correct.
great. All right,
Perfect, thank you.
thank you.
Okay.
Good,
So, out of, back in order now is the Moby Prop 59 report from Cindy Fowler. Cindy.
Pass a few of these around. I don't know if I've been everybody, but maybe.
I have one of these too. I have one over
Basically, why I'm telling you this is so cute.
I had-
Well, this, if we ever did, if we accomplished this,
We have one, right?
Yes.
across the
Yeah, so I
United
just
States.
wanted to get everybody kind of up to date
Who
on.
are you?
I'm Cindy Fowler. I'm Cindy Fowler, and I've been a member of the Yes We Can Democratic Club since 2000.
And one of its leaders, yes.
And in the middle of that, I got very concerned about where there's so many problems between education, environment, blah, 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 and healthcare. What I began to see is that it really comes down to the money, because what's actually happening is the legislators are making the decisions not based on what's best for the country, what's good for the most people. They're making decisions based on where the money is coming from. So I realized that, that I could work on the environment, I could work on these issues, but really, unless we get the money out, it's really hard to get them focused on, like, what's really good for America in whatever area we're talking about. So Prop 49, it was a ballot measure, and it had passed the legislature. So we didn't gather signatures like you're used to seeing. You know, when something's on the ballot, it's because people gathered signatures. In this case, because it is a voter instruction ballot measure, we were not allowed to collect signatures. The only way we could get this bill passed was passing it through the legislature. So in 2014, we got it done in record-breaking time. It was rolling on the ballot. We were writing up for the voters' instruction booklet, the pros, why we think they should support it. And what happened is we got taken to court, and the moneyed interest, although everyone said, it's just, it's a symbolic measure, you can't amend the U.S. Constitution. The California people cannot do such a thing. So it's just symbolic, but they cared enough about it that they wanted to kick us off the ballot. And unfortunately, the California Supreme Court made a huge mistake and threw us off the ballot in 2014. In fact, if you have your old voter instruction booklet, you'll see Prop 48 and all the information. And Prop 49 is a big blank piece of paper, and at the bottom it said, Prop 49 removed by the California Supreme Court. So this is the group, and I think when you're tabling, you can tell people, you know what? We feel so powerless, so many of us do, and we say, why do I even bother to vote? Nothing matters. I want you to know that a small group of people that knew nothing about how to lobby, what the heck do they know about passing a freaking bill? They knew nothing. But they got out there and they knocked on the doors of the legislators. They got the bill passed once. And then the moneyed interest came and took them to the California Supreme Court, and the California Supreme Court took them off the ballot. And so then the California Supreme Court met and said, you know what, we goofed. We never should have taken them off the ballot. Oh my God, my bad.
Oops.
But they did not put us back on the ballot. They said, you know what, go pass it one more time. Let's just see you do it one more time. So we freaking passed it one more time. So, and I don't think there's a darn thing they can do about it. So we're on the ballot this time, and I think if you tell people that kind of story, I think that kind of story has a lot of meaning and will make people feel empowered.
Yeah.
That yes, you can make a difference.
Yes,
We
we
all
can.
can do. And by getting this on the ballot in California, we feel number one is we have a platform. We can ask every candidate who's running for office, how do you feel about Prop 59?
That's
Do you
good.
support it? Okay, so without Prop 49, we have nothing but to say, oh, gee, don't you think there's too much money in politics and blah, 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 and they can just say yeah or no, and it doesn't mean anything. We want them to get behind Prop
Right.
59, and then the next thing, it is actually a voter instruction ballot measure, so we expect it will pass by at least 75 to 85%, because in every state where it has been on the ballot, even Montana, red Montana, it passed by 78%. And that is a red state. So we think we will get the huge vote. And once we do, we think that the difference is that other states will start to feel empowered and they'll want to do the same thing. And all we need is 32 states to actually say they want to do this. And pretty soon Congress will get off their ass and do something. And the other fact is, we are moving this country progressively. I mean, I think there's a good shot we're gonna get Hillary in there. And if this could be a wave election, because people are just so fed up with Trump and the whole Republican thing, we might get the House and the Senate, and we could really start to make a difference. And if state by state starts going on record as getting this passed by their people, that makes a huge difference. And then they'll have to move and make something happen. So it has passed in 18 legislatures out of 50 states. 18 have already passed it, but that's just at the legislature level. We want the people to vote, because it's the people that have to know that they can be empowered. When legislation passes, half the people don't even know anything happened.
Yeah.
By getting the people involved and having it on the ballot, that is what brings people up. So that's my story.
The question for,
Yes, question.
for the overturning of constitutional amendment, you need 3/4 of the state's legislatures?
No, you need 2/3 of the states,
Okay.
and then you
Of the
need,
legislatures? Or
you need I think a 3/4 in the Senate, yeah.
Yeah, but I
Yeah.
mean, at the state level, is it the legislature vote, or is it?
Uh,
Let me have my
After-
constitution.
Oh, okay, that's a good question. I was out of your
It's
All right, from,
I just lost the answer to that question. You probably know Nate.
Yeah,
Walsh.
so
Thank you.
It gets ratified by
But there's another way.
Nate will tell
Ed will
us.
tell us.
So, once it's proposed as a constitutional amendment through the Senate,
Right.
okay, then it has to be ratified by 3/4 of the states, and
Right.
it is the state legislature.
Legislature, that's what it is.
State
That's how
legislatures.
ERA fails.
Perfect.
Right,
Yeah.
and so all these
By three
the 17
states.
states that have already done it, that is done through their state legislature. So 17 we already have on the board. So we need
The thing is that the state legislature,
3/4.
They change.
What was the 32?
That's what you have to have.
All right,
States
just one
all
quick-
together have to do it.
Yeah.
Wait,
32,
Tony.
32, you have to, I was just
No,
trying to
36.
clarify
Yeah.
the 32 states.
It is 30, I think it is 32. Am I wrong?
It's 32.
Do
What's
3/4.
I think it's
anyway, whatever it's allowed.
Yeah.
The point is that if we get the
Three-quarters.
people in the states to
No,
vote
50 states or
overwhelmingly,
51?
the legislatures will
50
follow the
states.
state law. Anyway, go
And
ahead.
there's
Right, so
another way
half
around
is
it.
25.
Make sure Hillary wins so that she can appoint Supreme Court justices,
That's
That
got
maybe
at least 5 to
overturn it.
4, who will overturn it
But
if
the
it
thing
comes
is
up
that
again.
we really want to amend the Constitution,
Yeah.
because we
Yeah,
know
I
that in
know,
10
I know.
years this is going to happen again.
Yeah.
So really, we need
Yeah.
to stick with the Constitution. And yeah, we still want to get good constitutional, scholars in the
You could
corners.
pick
37 and a
the
half.
next
Over.
challenge.
38.
He's probably gonna get-
Yeah, I mean, we want to do all of it.
They haven't called back there.
37 and a half states have to ratify these.
I'm looking at
38.
I'm gonna just take really quick pause because this is obviously my first meeting, and I was on the Bernie campaign. but I teach at Long Beach City College and a number of the community colleges.
What's your
here.
name?
I'm Nicole.
Nicole, okay.
Yes, I teach in the local area, and one of the issues that I found my students became really interested in, particularly after the first debates, was Citizens United and getting big money out of politics. And so I'm just going to offer myself however I can within those community colleges and that
Wow,
millennial
would we love to
generation.
have, you need for profit
I
languages?
feel like one of the
Yeah, she's
things
all
that,
about it.
I feel like one of the things that most of the campaigns are missing are things like social media, and not just social media, but the social media my students are using,
Yeah,
which
they
is,
would
you
know.
know, things like Snapchat,
Yes, Snapchat,
Instagram,
Instagram.
and really creating a way to sort of motivate that generation, not only to get out to vote for the presidency, but for these, you know, for these other
Ballot
issues,
measures
right.
down.
Everything down ballot.
Right, exactly.
And so getting them excited about it, and so I just offer myself as someone who's
Will you
in the
come and
local
talk
area.
to me?
Absolutely.
When everything's
Absolutely.
over?
Absolutely.
Because we need you.
She's not
Any other
letting
questions
her
for
out.
Cindy?
Yeah, I have a question. Okay, so when this does pass by the voters of
Prop
California.
59.
Prop 59. So what happens legally in California?
So really what happens next is that we can then push our legislators particularly at the federal level, the congressmen of California and the senators of California, to then sign on. There are two very valid amendments to the Constitution, which would be the 28th Amendment that have been written up. And there's We the People one, and then I forget what the other one's called, but they would then sign on to one of those. And we would pressure them to do that, because now, look, 78% of Californians, you know, voted for this, and especially if it's in your district. If your district voted for that, and even Republican districts, this is beautiful. You've got a Republican district, and you tell that Republican congressman, you say, honey, if all your voters vote for this, are you gonna follow their instruction or not? You know?
Don't worry, we're gonna tell everybody in
It's like a,
constituents that you didn't.
It's more like a, I don't know, I would say a statement. I don't think it holds enough weight. So it's,
Because it's a platform to stand on. Right now, we've got nothing. Until you get something like this on the ballot, now you've
so
got
it's a
something.
directive.
Yeah, and then it's like,
That's
it's a
directive,
voter
directive.
instruction, and there was when we passed the 17th Amendment to let senators be picked by the people and not,
Oh, yeah.
you know,
God.
appointed, that was
Yeah.
done by a voter instruction ballot measure. Now, not people talk about it, but that's exactly what was done. We said, we want to elect our senators, so they had to do it.
I'm just gonna make a statement that is like very important to this becoming a constitutional amendment. In 2010, the Democratic Party dropped the ball, and Republicans took over most of the state legislatures. I think it's something like 30.
And that was the
Four.
census year. That was
Yes,
the
that's
census year.
that's what,
Key.
so then what the Republicans did is they gerrymandered throughout the United States because the state houses dictated what the lines were.
Exactly.
So in 2020,
That's our next chance.
we gotta keep our eye on the ball in 4 years to
Totally.
take back a lot of these
Exactly.
state houses,
And
so we
keep
can
that.
make this a constitutional amendment.
And look
Yes.
out, Texas.
Yeah.
Yes, we can.
Yes, we
Yes,
Yes, we will.
Okay,
Anything else, Cindy?
That's
So
what-
you, I wanted to talk to you.
Absolutely.
What else could we do? What
You want
else?
to ask something?
Just what else could we do?
Oh, okay, so when you guys are tabling, if you want to actually join the campaign, there's a website, yes, on ca59.com. Yes, on California 59.
Right here, it's on the page. Oh,
Yeah.
it's probably on
Yeah,
this.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So go to that
Probably on
website and say, I want to
Right, right,
volunteer,
right.
and it says, what kinds of things would you like to do? And you can say, oh, I want to do this or that, whatever you want. We need you.
All right, thank you very much for the report, and let's get that going. All right, Cindy. Okay, are there any other new or old, any new or old business?
Yes, I neglected through my little deal I did. Does anybody want to be on the Red and Blue Committee?
Right here?
The what?
I'm
Red
gonna
to
pass
blue,
around.
turning things from.
Just
blue
do
to
it.
red.
No, but I'm gonna pass this around, okay? So actually, I'll just write your names down, I'm gonna get people's contact info. So Nada, Dagmar, Phil, and Shayna, okay, cool.
And our
Oh,
new.
and she's on.
He knows me.
And you're cool.
I know the Chris's. They showed up knowing the Chris's. I was
That's how
at
we
it.
got one burner out of the crowd so far.
Yay.
Yeah, we got one.
There are 4 or 5
Oh,
of us.
3, we got 3.
Just me.
Ah, yeah.
Oh,
Oh, all right, sorry. I meant new ones, you know, you're not around here.
Oh,
One new one. Oh, I
New
see.
We're
working over on
That's
it.
what I love.
Do you want me to slap him for you, or?
But I never
So
came
can
from
I
you.
announce when the whole
Yes.
conference?
So-
Oh, yeah,
Chris?
hang on a second, yes.
I have
I
something.
Wait, one at a time, yes.
I was just gonna say, I don't know if everybody knows that, but today is Shayna's birthday. Hey!
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Shayna. Happy birthday to you.
All right.
Thank you, Lordy.
Okay, all right, thank you. All right, yes.
A shade of toast.
Hope.
Oh, me? Right.
Someone was gonna say something here.
Oh,
yes.
Everybody?
Can I read you something from Housing Long Beach?
Yes.
Is that, is
As
that
long as
it?
it's more than 14 pages.
No, it's not. Oh shoot, my phone's died. Okay, because the Business Journal had terrible things to say about Housing Long Beach.
really?
And this is from Josh, Executive Director, Scare Tactics and Lies. Our opponents know they can't win a discussion about the real issues at hand. That's why we were not surprised to learn about a new special interest group representing a small number of Long Beach landlords has launched a scathing attack on Housing Long Beach. The attack is full of misinformation, disinformation, and intentional miscommunication. They accuse us of having paid protesters, that our policies could open up human rights violations, that we do not understand how the real world works, that we are using intimidation and litigation, and that we are dishonest, that we are using race, gender equality, homelessness, and the LGBT community to advance an agenda, and that we are short-sighted and are dividing this community.
Yeah, what about devil worship? They forgot that. Where's Lucifer?
Where's Lucifer, right?
Yeah, we have Hillary.
Okay, there's more. This is a campaign with intentional language designed to misinform the public. We've seen the same tactics and language used in San Jose, Boston, and other cities where renters are
Interesting.
fighting for rights.
Who is the opponent of this? Because I'm voting for them.
This was,
Well, it's
Housing Long Beach.
Housing
This
Long
was
Beach.
written in the Business Journal against
This is
Josh.
actually an issue
Mainly, it was
that's
a lot
very
of.
near and dear to my heart, so I would love to be a part of.
Okay, Housing Long Beach, our president, leaders, and renters from all over this city will stand together and rise above the hate spewing from our opponents. In a city that is experiencing a double-digit increase in rents, we have no choice. Renters are not disposable members of this community. We will not be treated as such. And I'd like to tell you guys, they're having a, Housing Long Beach is, I'm on the committee which meets August 18th, and I think it's September 22nd, they're having a big Renters Day big thing in Long Beach, and I'll let you guys know.
Can you
No,
let's,
please let us know.
let Stuart know, and
Yeah.
Stuart will post on the
On the
website.
web, okay.
Yeah.
Do you know what
Do you have
time?
my email?
I'll email you guys, or I'll give it to
It'll
you.
be on the list, yeah.
I usually send to
You will be.
Maria, but I don't
Absolutely.
know, or should I be sending it to you? I'm
No,
not sure
send it
anymore.
Email it
Just
to
give it to
me.
him,
Yeah.
because I'll keep you guys informed of when this big renters, they're gonna make it into big music, food, and make, people there and speakers to let everybody know.
Phil?
Well, I'd like to have you summarize a little bit more who are the good guys and the bad guys.
Yeah.
Because when I was canvassing for Janine Pierce, this woman from I think she works in housing, and she kept attacking me of picking up all the banners and all the paper. And, I'm just walking along handing out paper, but she accused me and said she was going to call the police and
Against Janine?
against me for stealing Eric's posters.
You didn't
out.
do
Oh,
that.
You didn't do that.
Did I do it? Are you crazy? No, I mean, it was pretty silly.
Oh, so she just starts attacking you
She
over
was
anything.
accusing you.
Oh.
She was accusing me of doing all that stuff, and actually, an hour later, she did again. I mean,
do it, did you? I'm kidding.
I started laughing finally. I said, "Where do you think I hit him?" I mean, she was talking about the big ones. Is that connected with that, or?
Probably not. Well,
No,
maybe it could be.
I don't think, no, I don't know, and I don't know, it was in the Business Journal, this.
Hang on a second. Who is behind the
Yeah,
smearing.
that's
The-
what
the-
Oh,
the
it's in
landlord.
the business, I
Landlord.
don't know, it's in the
I know.
business journal, this,
All
Nada
right, Nada
knows.
knows. All right.
huh?
It's the apartment association.
Yeah.
It's the apartment
Okay, that's who did
association
it?
landlord.
who were behind you.
That's
They
who it
put-
was.
They put in a lot of money into Eric Ray's campaign and they.
Ah, good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they lost.
I'm sorry, what
And
was
they
your name?
lost.
My name's
Bravo.
Connie,
Connie.
and I'm on the board of Housing Long Beach, so.
I'm a renter, and I know a good number of people who are feeling like, wow, do we all have to move out of Long Beach because we can't live here and we can't, you know.
Can't afford it.
Listen,
It's not, I've looked up some various laws. Oakland has renters control. I think San Jose is trying to implement something and it's a big mess.
LA,
Santa Monica.
Uh-huh.
But at the very least, I mean, considering renters' rights, you know, the management companies are very, very aggressive in terms
Well,
of
that's
whether
what
or
she's
not
saying.
we can
Well,
even,
you
I
just-
can't even voice a complaint about plumbing issues without a threat of being evicted.
well, you just need to
You
come
know.
and join us at Housing Long Beach,
I
that's
would
one
really
of the things
love
that
the
we.
information so that I can share it with people that are also,
Oh,
because I
listen.
mean, I'm not so interested in just myself, but I know there are a good number of people also.
Okay,
We're
even.
gonna
That's,
get
that's
this-
where you're
I
in the
just-
right spot, right?
We're gonna get this
Okay.
on our website, there will be a
Yeah.
section for housing.
Because,
Okay,
because Housing Long
Sorry,
Beach.
I don't mean to
It's
be.
one of our equity issues.
I would love
So
to
one of the
share
other
some.
issue for
Housing Long Beach even has trainings right now every Saturday for renters to help train them on what their rights are, and so they can go and tell other people about it.
Fantastic.
So, yeah, just.
Housing Long Beach.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
we'll get the contact information.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Yes, edit.
This is a really short announcement,
Yeah.
but the whole new Congress group for the 47th CD, I'm sorry, gotta get it right,
Well,
is meeting tomorrow at 6:30 at St. Luke's Church.
What is that? It's a 47th Congressional District of
Whole new Congress, we mentioned it before you came. It's a group that came out of the Bernie.
Oh, brand new
campaign.
brand new Congress, BNC,
Oh, man.
brand new Congress.
No, it's called Whole New Congress.
Whole new, yeah, to get the,
Oh.
that would be a good group for me to go see. But it's tomorrow?
Yeah, tomorrow.
That's the guy that came to our meeting.
Make an argument.
Yeah, we're not, okay,
BNC.
whatever.
Yeah, okay, go ahead.
They have stuff going on all the time.
I have
Nada's
a
still
question.
talking?
No, I'm done.
I have a question of Nada. So, or anyone really, the whole new Congress, brand new, whatever it is, initiative or movement is, the purpose is what, since I haven't been
The
paying
main
attention?
thrust, as I understand it, and I'm getting my information from the internet, you know how that works, is that their main thrust is to replace in its entirety the Congress in 18.
Red to blue is what it is.
It is red to blue, but it is also,
It's very specific.
yeah, very
It's
specific.
progressive candidates, like for
Yeah.
example, in,
Well, right, but-
what's her name? The woman who headed up the
Debbie
DNC.
Wasserman.
Yeah.
Wasserman Schultz, okay.
Get
In
her
her
out.
district, she's got a primary
I know
person, and
that.
so they're gonna support that person, not her.
Here's the difference. The difference is a Democratic club, we are very reluctant and usually do not get involved in primary races.
Right.
We want to resolve, that's why this club, none of us wanted us to push for an endorsement for president, unlike the Long Beach Dems.
During this past spring.
Yeah,
Right.
so basically, that's why we're not in that race, okay, it was not in for discussion. But the BNC, the Congress people, can do that because they're not part of the Democratic Party.
Sure.
So they're gonna be independents, they're gonna be Greens, they're
Which
gonna
is
be
great.
Democrat, everybody.
Which is a
perfect.
continuation.
It's like
of
this,
it's
in most
perfect.
cases, we're gonna work together. Some cases, we won't work
Because
together.
what
Yeah,
happens-
because it's a primary.
What happens is people get disenfranchised, you know, the Bernie people, they, loved him and they wanted him to win and he didn't win, and they're young people. And the thing is he told us from the very beginning, I may not win, this isn't about me. What it's doing is keeping those people going, saying, you know what, it's not just the top of the ticket.
No.
You know, if you can't stand Hillary, God bless you, there are other names underneath it, like dog catcher all the way up, you gotta vote for all those other people. Even if you can't stomach, you can't force somebody
Right.
to vote for somebody they don't want to.
Right.
So, but get all the other people voted for, so that's.
Yes.
one has to be very careful when throwing the bathwater out, that the baby doesn't go too.
Yeah.
There are a lot of good Congress people
We understand.
already in.
Yeah.
Yes.
And to just vote them out of office
Yeah,
because
I
they're
don't
there.
think they really mean that,
No, no,
it
it's
sounds
not
like that,
that.
it sounds like that.
Yes, they do.
No, it
No,
is,
it
okay.
doesn't. It's not
I know this.
I
He
argue
knows
with
he
us.
was
Like some
he
of
was
them,
at
some
the
of them.
convention.
Here's the thing, it's with Occupy, we're calling it Occupy, well, with the Bernie campaign, there are, there's a spectrum of people
Right.
involved.
Yes.
You've got people who understand, you have to compromise and make things happen, which is what Bernie did with the folks, and that's why we have the most progressive platform in the history of the Democratic Party.
Bravo.
Right?
Yes.
The work that a lot of us did, all right?
Yeah, but
So
then there are
that's
people
the
that are kind of off the reservation,
There are
as
some people
they
that say-
are everywhere.
Yeah, they're gonna vote,
They got the same
throw their votes away for Joe Stein.
Right.
Anyway,
Yeah.
so,
Peggy
all right,
and
we are, can now take a motion to adjourn the formal part of the meeting and continue our discussion. All right, now before you get up and leave, there's one last piece of business. That's the habit, it's like in church, pass this down,
We need a
or temple, please.
Tithing.
We do, you
No,
know.
you-
Thank you very much.
No, pass, please.
Yeah, you see off and on.
Next time.
I just love, please.
I still have absolutely no cash.
Well, this is.
Make sure you get your contacts, get your stuff. Thank you, everybody, good meeting.
It was the same people.
All in favor, say aye.
And then
Thank you. I continue to bring
I will be there.
And I'll see you Friday.
You're set up, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna go get everything from you, yeah, they're all pretty set, I'm trying to get it, but they're not gonna sit.
You don't need help setting up. You should put your
That's right, that's good.
Nancy, I'm sure.
I'll make buttons.
All right, we're going to
It wasn't funny, she just
Thank you, I
down here.
I'll see you in the next book.
Right, put it back, I hope you're gonna come back.
Maybe I will.
It's fine, if you want to show up, if you want to show up.
The problem is I've been gone almost all of September. I'm gone to Peru for 18 days. And then when I come back, October the 22nd, I'm gone 2 weeks in Hawaii. I'm back on the 5th.
I'm gonna do your absentee ballot.
Oh, of course. Oh, I never miss an election. I've never missed an election. Anyways, back when I put $10 in. So we're
Guys, real quick. So, but Adrian's gonna speak a little about what the Hillary campaign is doing and how we can assist
But I
her.
got it, I have to.
I'm going.
She's from Jersey.
Give her a minute.
Can we turn the fans on?
Right now, our main focus obviously is to reach out to more volunteers. The focus of the campaign is to get blue up and down the ballot, like we were discussing in the meeting. We're gonna be, we established teams all over Long Beach, and we'll be holding phone banks Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday night, every single week, reaching out to new volunteers. So if anyone wants to get